Hey everybody, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. I'm Matt Connerton, and of course to my right, as you can see, the Honorable Gary S. Hopper is once again shapeshifted. This time, once again, taking the form of the Honorable Jane Cormier.
My goodness.
Hello, Jane, if that is your real name.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Does this joke ever get old for you?
It really doesn't.
No, okay.
Gary apparently is, he has a, what do you say, has a pneumatic device he has to repair?
A pneumatic device he has to repair?
Something. Oh no, it was pneumonia.
Yeah.
I get those confused.
Oh, Mamma Mia, you
Well,
scared
those
me for a minute.
spellings
there.
are similar.
Yeah, actually, he called me when he texted me. He said he has the plague. So he's actually gone up a couple of notches. It's a little bit better. I wouldn't want plague. Pneumonia, I'm sure he's taking antibiotics and he'll be fine.
A plague sounds, frankly,
nasty.
quite contagious.
Well, there it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, scary stuff. But
Yes.
we wish him well. Gary, get better. We need you back here.
I just hope he doesn't have leprosy.
No, he doesn't.
He wouldn't be half the man he used to be.
Oh, my.
You like that?
Did you really work on that? Oh, my.
No, that just came to
Oh,
me.
geez,
But the
okay.
shape-shifting joke,
Okay.
that I've been, gearing up for the last 90 minutes or so.
I got it. So this actually was a very last-minute thing.
Yes.
And we have a great couple of guests here from the CareNet Pregnancy Center. But I wanted to take 2 minutes, probably less. You know that politically speaking, I was in the House, and
Yeah.
when I was in the House, I really was quite concerned about where education was going.
Yeah.
And so I was very vocal, sat in at a lot of communities throughout the state. And last week, something hit the net that so concerned myself and people that have been plugged into the Smarter Balance assessments of Common Core,
Right.
that we are going to be having a pretty big event, a protest, a rally and a protest on March 5th. And I wanted to let people know about it. And it won't take long. I promise I won't be,
Well, we're all used to Gary and,
Yeah.
20 minutes of...
I actually am stealing this time because Manchester has been on the cutting edge of speaking out against this.
Mm-hmm.
So when he called, when I got the message today to come on here, I thought this was a great way to get some great airtime to the folks in Manchester and let them know what's going on.
Good timing.
There was they call it a technical assistance letter. This letter is an inter-office kind of thing that was sent to all the superintendents in the state of New Hampshire. And it basically tells the superintendents that they are supposed to be informing the parents that there is, quote, by Virginia Barry, Commissioner of the New Hampshire DOE, there is no opting out option for students in the law. And she goes on to say, SAU, district, or school personnel do not have the authority to develop or sign any form allowing a student to not take the assessment. Okay? Now, you talk about jumping the shark. This has jumped 3 sharks, and this cannot stand because our parental rights are at stake. Make no mistake about it. And if a bureaucrat sitting in an office in an unelected position can put forth an inter-office technical assistance memo saying that parents have no rights to opt out their children in something that they might have issues with, I say it's time that we start waking up and we get busy.
Just to clarify, this is to not allow them to opt out of what exactly?
Smarter Balance assessments. Those
Okay.
are coming up because they're just, I guess, getting started. They've had some testing in school districts with them, but now they're getting started. And there's all kinds of controversy, which we won't talk about today, about Smarter Balance. However, if you want good information, New Hampshire Families for Education is a Facebook website, has wonderful information that you can verify. But on March 5th, at the Legislative Office Building in Concord, at 9 o'clock in the morning, we are inviting anyone who is interested in standing up and telling the New Hampshire DOE, hands off our parental rights. Those children belong to us. They do not belong to the New Hampshire DOE, and it is not true that there is no opting out for students in the state of New Hampshire. So 9 o'clock, March 5th, join us. We'll have a jolly old time. And, we just want to make sure people know that that's happening. Legislative Office Building is right behind the State House in Concord.
Wait, I just want to clarify one thing because I think I misunderstood this the first time. So are you saying that the law says they can't opt out? But so in other words, they're being instructed to not tell the truth about this.
They are being instructed to say something that goes against what New Hampshire has always supported, and that is local education and local decisions on our children in education.
Okay.
Period. And they're making up this law thing, making it, sound like it's in the law, and it simply isn't true.
Okay.
So we have to fight back. Otherwise, we're going to get what we deserve, and we need to be very vocal on this.
We do have a call. Should we take this call really
Sure.
quick, and then we'll move on? Hi, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Who's on the line? Hello?
Hello.
Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, I'm having problems seeing the show. It's not streaming properly.
You're watching online,
Yeah.
and it's not streaming? Let me check on the computer
that?
here. Okay, yeah, I'm
Okay.
told John in the control room says it's fine. What I have found though is if you're trying to stream it online, give it a few. Sometimes on my computer it takes about 10 or 15 seconds for the picture to come up now, and if you move your cursor over where the picture is supposed to be, sometimes it will come up a little quicker. I'm not sure why it's slow like that, but that's how it's been lately. So I would suggest that.
Yeah, it's actually coming up. I can see it, but it freezes, and there's no sound, and there's one picture. It just captures one picture and stops. So, okay, don't know what's going on. I watched it before. I had Silverlight installed, but it's not working for me.
Yeah.
I'll try again next week.
All right.
Thank you. So, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. But we do have actually two wonderful guests here today.
Yes,
From
yes.
the CareNet Pregnancy Center in Manchester. And we have Carolyn Pellerin and we have Andrea Almquist here. And I'm thrilled.
I was going to say, Carolyn's been here. This is your third time?
Third
on the show?
time, third
Yes.
year,
Wow.
yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So for anybody that's out here watching that wouldn't know anything about your organization CareNet, what would you like them to know?
Well, CareNet is a nonprofit Christian ministry where we serve women who are pregnant or think they might be pregnant. And some of these women come to us in a crisis pregnancy where they want to know about their options. And so we're able to share with them all of their options. We have parenting programs that we offer through CareNet where they can go through curriculums if they decide to carry and parent. We can give them a lot of information about the different types of adoptions that are available to them, whether it's open adoption, closed adoption, or the gamut of options in between. And if they are thinking about an abortion or they're not sure, we can give them up-to-date information on the procedures and risk, which Andrea can talk about a little bit later when she goes over the medical piece. And we don't provide abortions nor give referrals, but we believe because it is a legal option that all of our clients, if they're undecided, should be made aware of their options so that they will be well informed when they have to actually make this life-altering decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you were talking, Andrea is the RN nurse manager?
That's correct.
And so what do you do in the CareNet? Like, what will your responsibilities be?
Well, my responsibilities at CareNet are to facilitate our medical services. And the Manchester, we have a sister center in Nashua, and I'm the traveler. I'm the nurse that goes between both centers. But our centers went medical about 8 years ago. And what that means is that CareNet was then able to offer medical pregnancy tests and give our clients a verification of if they had a positive result, they were able to get a medical verification that would enable them to get social services like Medicaid. In addition to medical pregnancy tests, we also began to offer limited obstetrical ultrasound. And limited ultrasound is it's a very important piece for many of our clients. Limited ultrasound is just that, it's limited, but it does it gives our clients 3 pieces of information. It lets them know if they have a pregnancy in the uterus, which is very important because a pregnancy outside of the uterus is a life-threatening situation. Right. It lets them know whether or not their pregnancy is viable. So we're looking for a heartbeat, okay? And the third thing is it estimates gestational age, and that just means how pregnant is the client. These things are important most especially to a client who may be making a decision about her pregnancy. If there's not a viable pregnancy, there is no decision to make.
Right.
Some clients are very unsure of how far along they are. That's important as far as prenatal care. So we offer these medical, this limited service, usually between 8 and 12 weeks. We don't want to overstep an obstetrician's bounds, but we sort of can provide that initial scan to those clients that fall within our criteria.
So I'm wondering, do Planned Parenthood, do they offer the same kind of ultrasound in any client that would go into a Planned Parenthood?
I don't know the answer to that, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. I know they do offer some ultrasound. In what capacity? I'm not sure.
I believe that legally they have to have an ultrasound before providing an abortion.
Okay.
I don't know that the clients see them or not. I don't know, but
Because that's what I was. That's
Yeah.
what I had heard, that
Right.
they weren't. That there were many women that would go in for abortion services that would never be allowed to see.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I have read that.
I don't know if any client that gets a positive test is offered that. And I think that, when I say I don't know, at CareNet, if a client has a positive pregnancy test and they fall within our criteria, we offer them an ultrasound.
Great.
So
Great.
I know
and we
that
let them see him.
I know that in some states they've tried to mandate that.
Yes.
Yes.
But I know Virginia was one of them, for example, but I think it failed. I don't know if it actually has gone into law anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's not the case in New Hampshire, right? There's no mandate for an ultrasound, right?
There's not a mandate for anything in
No.
New Hampshire. I mean,
Yeah.
New Hampshire is just.
They don't even keep track of the numbers.
They don't
right?
even keep. We're one of 3 states that don't even keep track of any statistics of
Which is amazing to me.
facilities.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah, yeah.
But in any case, great. So you describe your medical services. What? Let's say that somebody came in and they were 15 years old, and they were pregnant. What would be your protocol for that? And
Medically?
underage.
Medically?
Both. In both ways, because I would assume that there are very 2 specific issues to an underage pregnancy.
Well, all of the services that we offer, first of all, they're free and they're confidential. So even if a 15-year-old comes in, she might be coming to us because she hasn't told her parents yet and she needs information.
Right.
So we're not going to divulge that information to anybody who calls. If her parents should call and say, I want to know if my daughter had an appointment with you, we can't divulge that information, but we are certainly going to encourage this client to talk to her parents. When
Yeah.
it comes to the medical piece,
Right.
we won't do any of the medical services beyond a pregnancy test without parental authorization.
I see. Okay.
That's true, right?
yes, it is.
Yeah.
I see. So once it goes to the medical component, there does have to be a parental. I see. Is that something that's in a state law, or is that mandated in the state?
No, I don't believe so,
believe it
but I
is.
believe it's what our medical director feels comfortable with. We always want to have, especially a young girl, to communicate with her parents and get their consent
Sure.
to have an ultrasound and hopefully to come alongside her
Yeah.
Support.
and
Yeah, 'cause-
support her.
Yeah, because this is major stuff. It's not like giving somebody an asprin, you
Right.
know.
My
it's-
goodness, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Well, that's where the statistics things too. I've often wondered when we were sitting in the legislature and we would hear the life bills come up. My concern was we have heard many times of young women, underage women that are, let's just say, how do we put it, are having an experience that is unlawful with regard to pregnancy. And how do we really help them in the situation if we're tied to, and we have to keep, like you said, the confidentiality, but if there is an abuse situation going on,
Well, legally,
Abusive, yeah.
legally we
That's
have to
different,
report
right.
that. That's very different.
Yeah.
Yes.
The laws are that we have to report
Okay.
statutory rape, for example. If
Okay.
a 15-year-old comes in and her partner's 32, that's statutory rape.
okay.
So
And
we
so
would have to report that.
You would feel lawfully that you would have to report that, because I know that there are Planned Parenthoods that have been, on record, videoed. There would have been videotape where they won't divulge that information under the canard that, she came in, and but we have to help those kinds of kids that would have that situation.
Well, I think it's important to say that we don't do it behind her back.
Yeah.
The executive director would come in and explain to her the law and the reason why we have to do it, because it's for her own benefit and it's for her health, and that this was a law that was broken. And just for the record, it's very rare that we would even ever have to do that. And I can't speak for Planned Parenthood or any other organizations. I believe that or I hope that they're doing what is in the best interest, or I believe they think they're doing what is in the best interest
Probably, yes.
of women's health. I only know the heart of CareNet. I don't know the heart of any of these other organizations.
Right.
In terms of reporting something, do you report something where you suspect that something has gone on, or does the client or patient, or whatever term you use, have to tell you this has happened? In other words, they tell you this is what's going on and then you report it. Or can you do that on suspicion?
A client doesn't have to tell us anything, first of all.
Yeah.
If she's underage, because in the state of New Hampshire, it's actually illegal to have sex under 16.
Right.
So if she's under 16, we're going to ask about her partner. That's all.
Of course, yeah.
If it's another 15-year-old, in the
Right.
scenario of a 15-year-old, it's two underage kids having
Right.
sex. They're
Right.
high school students having sex. There's really nothing to report in
Right.
that case.
Yeah.
So, I think that
Case by case, it sounds
it is.
like.
It's a case by
Yeah.
case, and if she doesn't want to divulge, for example, the age of her boyfriend, then there's nothing to report.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
So
So who qualifies to be a client for CareNet?
anybody who thinks they're pregnant or is already pregnant or even just had a baby, because we see clients up to until their babies are up to 6 months of age, and sometimes
goodness,
even
really?
older.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't ever thought about that before, because that's a whole different kettle of fish, after you've had the baby, right?
Absolutely.
Holy moly.
Our peer counselors or client advocates are able to really develop a relationship up to 2, sometimes 3 years with our clients. We start from the time they find out they're pregnant, they have a medical test, and then we offer them an ultrasound. If they decide to carry and parent, they go through their whole pregnancy through a DVD-based parenting curriculum that we have.
Oh my goodness.
Over the years, we've expanded it to a relationship course. We have a practical father
Oh my goodness, that's
initiative that we
wonderful.
launched last year that we talked about when we were here.
yeah.
And we just, the changes of our clients are ever changing, so we have to change with them. And this year, it's so exciting because we have so many men, so many partners that have come on board and are going through our practical fatherhood curriculum, that we now have 3 male client advocates that are actually teaching
Holy
this
moly.
course to the men,
That's-
so that they
that's
can
really
talk
cool.
to
Yeah.
men or dads instead of moms.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
working out really well.
Wow, that sounds real innovative. That's great
Yeah.
for building the family unit and support.
Well, that's what I think a few years ago we realized that, we've been doing, this is our 30-year anniversary, so it's pretty exciting.
30 years.
30 years,
Holy
yeah.
moly.
So it's awesome. But we've sort of always focused on the girl.
Yeah.
And then we expanded it to the partner. And then it was, wait a minute, some of our girls or some of our males, they're leaving and they're in these really dysfunctional relationships. So we need to teach them what a good, healthy relationship looks like. Maybe they don't have any role modeling.
Yeah.
Maybe they've never had a father or a mother in their life at all. And, maybe they've just been a part of the system, and I'm sure that the system does its best, but it can't replace your parents.
No, absolutely.
So we want to show them this is what is best for your child and what is best for you.
Wow.
And if they're not together, but they're trying to co-parent their child, then we can show them ways to do it, where you don't talk about the mother of your child negatively or the father of your child negatively to anyone, but especially in front of your children as they
Absolutely.
get older, because that's going to affect your child.
Right.
And the way they view relationships, the way they view you, the way they view your,
The other
your
parent.
the other parent, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? I'm not sure that. I know I did not know that about CareNet. I thought that it was specifically a health-oriented, only during pregnancy kind of timeline. Wow, that's really great. So there's 2 centers, one in Manchester and one in Nashua.
That's correct.
And what is funding? How does the funding work for this? Because you said that the services are free.
They are free. We actually have 3 major fundraisers that we host every year.
Wow.
One is a baby bottle drive
Oh,
where
yes.
local churches and businesses and some individuals will pick up bottles and they just fill it with loose change or checks or green stuff, whatever you want. With change, it's usually about $15. But this is we have about 30 churches, I think, that participate
Wonderful.
locally in that and other businesses. And so that's our first fundraiser. In May, we have a 2-mile walk for life where people get pledges. And then we have a really fun-filled day with donuts and hot dogs and chips and soda and usually a band. And everybody
cool.
walks for 2 miles and gets the pledges.
Okay.
And then, and by the way, last year we started online with our website. So that's another way that people can pledge and
They can donate and
they
pledge
can donate.
on
pledge.
site. And so we're going to say that a lot today. CareNetNewHampshire.org.
Correct.
Okay, fabulous. Okay,
And if you have any questions, our phone number is 623-1122.
excellent.
And our third major fundraiser is that we have a dinner banquet in October. And there's no fee, but we do collect at the end of the evening. But we have phenomenal speakers. They get better every year. It's a great meal, from soup to nuts. It's really awesome. And
That's something.
yeah, and we also, that's the majority of we get most of our money that way, but there's a lot of people that really support us through financial donations as well. Businesses, individuals, churches. It's really great.
Do you get any taxpayer funds?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
No.
No, so you don't get any government.
Correct.
we do not.
We do not.
Holy
We
moly!
get materials assistance from the generosity of individuals.
Yeah.
Wowie
It's
zowie.
phenomenal.
Okay.
It really is.
We have a baby boutique and a maternity room in the back of our center for our clients. And a lot of what's in our boutique and in our maternity room are donations. A lot of them are used. We go through them. We throw away anything that has stains, rips, that isn't
Good,
current.
isn't it right?
And I have to tell you that our ladies love shopping. They just love shopping. They always come out with a smile on their face. They feel so blessed. And it's really not just the staff and the people that volunteer at CareNet. It's the community all coming together to make CareNet successful.
Isn't that fabulous? I mean, and that is really what it's supposed to be,
Right.
right? Charity begins at home, and the fact that you guys get it done just by support of your community.
Right.
That's pretty fabulous stuff.
And most of our marketing, I mean, obviously we have a website, but most of our marketing is word of mouth. Every time I see a client, how'd you hear about us? Oh, my friend came. Oh, my sister came. Oh, somebody told me about you guys. And there's a lot of agencies in Manchester that tell their clients about us when they find out their girls are pregnant. So,
good.
yeah, it's really great.
It's
We
fabulous.
do. We get referrals from doctors' offices, and they say, go to CareNet and get your test, and then come back. So we do, as Carolyn mentioned. It's
Wonderful.
good to get referrals from the community as
Yes.
well as individuals.
Well, that's really how you make it work.
We do.
Because it's the interactive component that makes it and keeps it probably, flourishing and up to date.
Right.
Because if the word of mouth is going to service the organization will keep, usually, I'm assuming, will keep up with, everything that's happening.
Well, and our girls love coming.
Yeah.
We have a survey on the initial intake. They're here for an hour. We go through the paperwork. We assess their needs, decide whether they need a pregnancy test, an ultrasound, whatever. And we allow an hour for that. And then we have them fill out a survey. And I have to tell you, it's rated 5. It's poor, fair, neutral, good, and excellent. We've never received anything below a good, and usually it's excellent.
Wow.
And I know because today I was going through last year's for the executive director, and I said, we don't have anything below a good, and most of them it was like 216 excellence and 39 goods.
Yeah.
And that was
Wow.
it. So, this is on the first impression of us. This isn't, they've, got to know us, like us, and trust us, and okay, now I'm going to give you a great review. This is after an hour intake, and sometimes these are, I'm in a crisis, I don't know what I want to do.
Right.
We're sharing their options with them. We're trying to help them develop a plan so that they can take the next step in this really difficult decision-making process. And they're telling us that we did an excellent job.
Isn't that great?
So we're really proud of that because we have extensive training. We have a really limited staff, and we rely on the servanthood, if you will, of volunteers, people that come in, that this is on their heart to really serve at CareNet. And so most of our peer counselors or client advocates are volunteers. And
So how do they get in touch with you? Just the website? Is there something they can sign up? Let's say that, someone wants to come and donate, 5 hours a week at the center.
they would speak with the executive director. She would set up an interview. Once you get past the interview, if it looks like it's a good fit, they would have to go through 21-hour training with the executive director and then come on board and train additionally with me,
Wow.
doing some role playing and some shadowing in with life-minded clients before. And then there would be an additional training for crisis counseling if they wanted to do that down the road. And that would take a minimum of 6 months after being in-house
So,
trained.
wow.
Yeah,
It's a
counseling.
full commitment there.
It is.
Education and, yeah.
Well, we're talking about a sensitive topic. We're talking about life-changing decision that a lot of our clients need to make, and we don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why we've been so successful and we've been able to fund CareNet over the past 30 years is because we do it well and we do it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How many clients do you see in, say a month or a year? Or I'm sure it varies a lot, but do you know offhand any kind of numbers?
Like new clients?
Yeah, yeah.
New clients can vary anywhere from, we can have 8 to 40 new clients, and then existing clients we can see up to, 150 clients a month.
No kidding.
Wow.
That many.
Yeah, we can
Wow.
see up
that
to that many.
surprises me.
That's in
Wow.
Manchester. Andrea can probably speak for Nashua. I don't work in Nashua at all.
Yeah.
I know the number's probably a little bit lower in Nashua. I don't know exactly what the number is, but
Yeah.
I think what sets us apart, you're talking about the training, and we always want to serve our clients with excellence. I think that when clients come to us, that individual treatment that they get at CareNet is very meaningful to them. As far as, there is the parenting program, and within the parenting program, there's a medical piece to that as well. Because our clients are often, they have difficulty maybe plugging into what a hospital has for education, whether it be childbirth classes, breastfeeding classes, because of the cost, because most hospitals do charge for those classes. We're able to offer, there's two paid staff nurses at CareNet. There's myself and another nurse, Rachel, and then we have a few other nurses that volunteer, and we're able to do the medical piece of the Earn While You Learn, which is breastfeeding class, childbirth education, postpartum depression education, and recently we've added a new component called the Period of Purple Crying, and that was facilitated through the New Hampshire Children's Trust, who provided us with the materials to educate our clients on shaken baby syndrome.
Okay.
So we just keep on, as in the regular parenting program, we're continuing to add to that medical piece too, and doing these classes one-on-one with clients and their significant other, their husband, their parents, whatever. It really has
Makes
made a difference.
Oh my goodness, absolutely.
We have a call. Hi, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Who's on the line?
Hello?
Hello?
Matt.
Is this Ross?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
The Honorable Ross Terrio? Good, how are you?
Excellent. I just called to remind you it's going to be an election year where you're living, and I'm going to encourage you to and remind you to please sign up and run for office this year.
Ross, there's a funny thing about that. I keep meaning to tell you. I don't live where I used to live anymore.
Oh.
I live in Manchester now.
Get out of town.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you got out of town.
I can't get out of town now. I live here.
Oh, well, you can still run for office.
Yeah, I just
It's still election year.
different environment, but yes, I could. You think I should?
Yes.
All right.
What are you thinking, mayor or welfare commissioner? What are you thinking?
Welfare commissioner. That sounds
Wow,
interesting.
I never knew you had that in you there, Matt.
Me neither. Ross sees something in me I didn't know was there. I don't know. I don't think I'm electable personally. But
I think you are.
Yeah.
And as Gary Hopper always says, you have a face for radio. But
yes.
That's not true.
I'll tell.
You and Glenn R.J. Willett should team up.
Well, I am supporting Glenn for mayor.
Yeah, so you could run for welfare commissioner.
That's right. Couldn't he just appoint me? Couldn't he just
No,
executive order or
it's an
something?
elected office in Manchester.
Ah,
It's strange. Everywhere else it's probably appointed, but here it's actually an elected office, and it actually pays very well.
Really? Oh well.
And it's over $100,000 a year, I believe.
I'm sold. I'm running.
Okay, it would be the dream team, you and Glenn.
That's right. That's what I've always wanted. And by always, I mean never, but, Well, thanks, Russ.
Hey, it's good talking to you, and I strongly encourage you to run.
I will.
Just a little non sequitur there.
I'll run for something, I promise. All
Talk to you soon.
right. Thank you, Russ. The Honorable Ross Terrio.
Okay. So I have a question for you, and I don't know if it's something that the CareNet does, but what about counseling for people that have had abortion? Is there anything there that post-abortive women that you do and support services for that?
I'm so glad you asked, because yes, what we find is that a lot of women that come to us have either had one or more abortions, or they're contemplating an abortion this time. If they've had an abortion, sometimes when they have a subsequent pregnancy, some negative feelings can come to the forefront, where maybe they see on an ultrasound at the same stage where they might have had a previous abortion, and there can be some guilt, some pain, some isolation, some anxiety, or they might realize at some point in their life, it can be 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, we've seen it, where they have to really come to terms with a past abortion. And so we have a post-abortion group where the best part, I think, about this particular part of our ministry is that the women who teach or facilitate this group have had abortions, so they understand what these women are feeling, or men. Sometimes there are men that want to go through it as well. So yes, they fill out information, they go through an interview process. They have to really be ready to deal with the pain, so that they can be, it's called Forgiven and Set Free, which is the program they go through for this.
Wonderful.
And it's a really great part of what we do.
Yeah.
And it's an important piece of what we do. We
I would
want
think.
people, as people, as human beings, we all do things that we regret. And when someone has an abortion or abortions that they have regretted, we don't want them to suffer for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
So,
We have another call. Hi, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Who's on the line? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Why don't you run against Ross?
It's the Honorable Gary S. Hopper. Gary, it's good to hear your voice on your show.
Yeah, no, I'm not dead yet, but thanks Jane for filling in, and thanks very much to the ladies from CareNet.
Yes.
But really, Matt, you should really run against Ross Terrio.
I should. Well, that would be ironic, wouldn't it?
It would be awesome.
If I beat him, then he would have
on the show and everything.
He would have sealed his own doom with that call, encouraging me to run.
Oh my goodness!
I hope so.
Politics is a dirty, dirty business.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, Gary, feel better.
Take care.
that's funny.
Crazy.
All right.
Crazy. So let's again. We have a website of carenetnh.org.
Correct.
And on that site, they can donate or find out all about what services you offer.
Yes.
Is there something on there also if they want to volunteer?
I think for volunteering, they just have to call us, or they can email us, and we will, at that point, set up an interview for them to come in. I think that's the best way with the volunteering piece.
And what about if they want to donate something to, like you said, you have like little shopping areas, right?
They show up, they call, they just bring it to us. And
Really?
Like we have a woman who has a couple of helpers, and they go through it every week. And
Wow.
Our rooms are constantly changing. So
My
if somebody
goodness.
shows up 2 days in a row, they're going to see something different. So
Wow.
Do you know what a beautiful thing is, too? Our clients donate back to us.
Really?
Our clients, they're so appreciative. They've been blessed by what they receive, that very often, when they're through with their items, they give back. We had clients come in today with bags of clothing. They just said, oh, thank you. Let this bless someone else.
Yes.
we
Well,
had
isn't that-
we
that's
had
great.
someone 3 weeks ago whose child is 2. She just said, I need to get rid of these clothes, and I could go on and sell them, on one of those Craigslist. And she said, but I decided just to give them to you guys because you blessed me so much.
Yes.
So it's so great when people do that. It's paying it forward, which
That's
is
right.
what we all need to do.
Right.
You know, that's what we should be doing.
And that's
just as
why
human
it
beings.
works, I believe. Because
Right.
you know what? People appreciate it when people work together for it. And you never forget it. You're always, you work from that mindset.
Right.
That's really great.
We also, I want to mention, is that we also have a referral brochure that we put together called Community Helps. And these are agencies within Manchester that our clients may need, or they may know other people. Housing, food and clothing, health and medical assistance, legal assistance, employment and education, child care, substance abuse, STDs and HIV, crisis intervention, and DNA testing. And we update this every year. We just updated it a couple of weeks ago, actually, so that if a client comes to us only once, we're going to give this to every single client, because even if they decide that they don't want to work with us for whatever reason, a lot of our clients come to us really desperate, broken, in really the worst of circumstances, and they could use a lot of the services that are in here.
Information too, yeah.
So we really, we have a lot of training on pregnancy and crisis pregnancy, but so many of our clients need more than what we can offer. So we really think that this is an important part of what we do as well.
Absolutely. That's great. That's wonderful.
Have you? How long have you been with CareNet? How long have you?
Personally?
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
I've been with CareNet, I came in a little after you, so 8 years?
About 8 years.
Okay.
8 years. I came on first, I went through the training, and I was a volunteer.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And I was hired 4 years ago as the
Oh.
client services coordinator.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
I volunteered 2 days a week and did the crisis counseling. So
Uh-huh. Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what about you, Andrea?
Been about 8 years
Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
There was a nurse manager that sort of launched the medical piece for them initially, and then I stepped into the full-time nurse manager position. She is back on staff and works for us 1 evening a week. So
Yeah.
Wonderful.
and that's another thing we did. We shifted our hours. We were only open one evening in Manchester.
Yeah.
And we were open Tuesday through Friday with a late Wednesday night. And we've realized that we didn't have enough space for our evening clients, people that might work during the day.
Yeah.
And so we got rid of Friday and we opened up on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, and we're always full. So we're open Tuesday through Thursday, and we were finding that, by changing our hours, we're able to see more clients, and especially
Interesting.
male clients.
Yeah.
So it's worked out well.
That's great.
How many male clients? Like, what's the ratio like? I mean, I assume it's a pretty small.
Well, no, it started out small, started off with one, but right now we have, with 3 male mentors, we probably have 5 through them. I'm seeing a couple myself that come during the day because our men are only available in the evening, our mentors. So I think we probably have about 10 right now, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
But we also have men that are still come in with their partners during the day
Okay.
and just haven't gotten to this point yet to start doing the fatherhood curriculum.
Yeah.
It's 10 weeks, so we have to find 10 weeks of time where
Right.
we're not showing her what's happening with her pregnancy, that we can actually take a 10-week break and move on to him, because we can do
Okay.
his at any point in time, even after the baby's born.
Sure.
So we have a lot more men that are part of our program. They're just not official clients yet, but they will be
Right,
when
right,
the time is
okay.
right.
Wow. Well, that's very cool.
well, because the women's part of the program is usually time sensitive.
Right.
You know, you want to give
Correct.
give her the
Yeah.
first trimester information that, so you want to sort of stay on track with that.
Yeah.
That's a little bit important right there, I think. Yeah.
It is.
A lot of it, I think.
So, if somebody was having an issue, a concern with their pregnancy, or they needed help, do they just show up? Do they usually go through the site? I mean, how do you usually get that first, that first meeting for people?
Sometimes they email us. Sometimes they will. We actually just got a texting phone, so that they can. Please don't ask me the number. I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't.
I forgot to write it down.
So-
Probably
Right.
on the website, right?
Yeah, probably yes.
Yeah.
So we have a texting phone now, and lots of times they just call or they just show up.
They just
And
show
if
up.
they're in a crisis, we will see them right away.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen. And there have been times when we've had all the rooms full, and we're kicking people out of their offices so that we can, bring a client in a room if we have to, because we don't want anybody walking away that is in a crisis.
Right.
Even if it's not a pregnancy crisis, if they just need to talk to somebody and they need referrals, we don't want them to be in a really bad state driving.
Yeah.
Right,
You know, we
Absolutely.
want to be able to help them and give them referrals or call for them and do whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
So I think that, the biggest response we get is that we respect wherever they're at and that they feel really safe with us.
Good.
They don't feel like a
great.
number, they don't feel rushed. And although we give them an hour, we'll a lot more time if necessary with a crisis situation.
So I would think most of it in a crisis situation would be drop in, to stop in.
Not necessarily. Sometimes they'll call just to set up a pregnancy test and not really reveal that it's a crisis.
Okay.
So we try to get the pregnancy test in right away, and we think it's not a crisis, and then we find out 15 minutes into, the intake that, all right, this person is in major crisis right now.
What is crisis? And that's it. What? Give
I'm
our listeners
pregnant,
some
it's
idea.
unplanned, and I'm 15, I'm 17, I'm 19. I don't know who the father is. I slept with, 4 people last weekend. I mean, you can think of the worst case scenario. They're on drugs, they're on methadone, their boyfriend's in jail.
Okay.
They may have had several miscarriages or abortions in the past, and now they're petrified. Oh no, I'm pregnant again. So there's a myriad of reasons why they'll come in a crisis. And even if you or I wouldn't think that something might be a crisis, when it is to them, we go into that mode. Like, this is their crisis.
Absolutely.
And you and I might not think it is, but
Right.
for them, because we all come from a different place.
That's great.
So we're really well trained to be able to really discern what they need, and then we go at it. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's great. It's nice to see that there's good work like this going on. And frankly, I had no idea the depth of services that you offered. So this is great information for me.
We
going
keep
forward.
evolving.
Yeah.
We started off just a small little center that did, free pregnancy tests and would talk to you. And, over the 30 years, it's really evolved into something amazing. And, in regards to the medical piece, sometimes even Andrea, we won't even know that somebody's in a crisis. And when she comes in, the girl might come in for an ultrasound, and maybe during her original intake with us, she was life-minded, everything was fine, but she went home and her partner's like, you're out of, I'm kicking you out of the house
wow.
if you
Yeah.
don't get an abortion. And then she meets with Andrea for the ultrasound, and through the medical intake, and you can elaborate on this, we find out she's in crisis. Now we have what we thought wasn't a crisis, and now it is a crisis.
Now it is a crisis, and I think the ultrasound piece is so important in those situations. It's important in every situation, but to be able to show a woman the life growing inside her is very, very powerful. You would think with all the information that there is out there today, people would be well aware of what was going on in their body.
Yep.
But I have clients all the time that will say, my baby has, there's arms and legs.
Right.
They don't they don't understand what's going on. And what happens is when I do an ultrasound and we see how pregnant she is, we're able to show them fetal models. Little baby models that can show them how rapid the growth is from week to week in the first trimester, and that your baby, yes, indeed, does look like a baby.
Yeah.
And this is so helpful to them. We have books for them. We just, we give them little pamphlets. One is the first 9 months, which, goes week to week and sort of gives
that's
them
great.
an idea. Like I said, there's a lot of information out there, but this shows them a little more detail. We have books on healthy pregnancy. This just sort of, comes alongside our curriculum, but it's something we can give them,
Absolutely.
quickly at their ultrasound appointment or their pregnancy test appointment to sort of launch them into thinking about their changing body.
Sure.
One
Isn't
of the
that
things
interesting?
that CareNet has done when somebody is undecided and we're going through her options with her is we want to be able to relate to the millennials because most of our clients are millennials, and so they just put together this new Before You Decide, and it's a magazine for them, and it's really well done. It's just so awesome, and so we're able to say, now that we've talked about it and you've taken in all this information, we're going to give you this. Take this home, read it, and can we call you next week and see how you're feeling, so that you don't have, in most cases, they don't have to make a decision that day, and that's the beauty of it. When they're coming in for a pregnancy test and they're 4 or 5 weeks pregnant, you don't have to make a decision right today. Let's get all the facts, know all of your options, really think about what you're going to do, because whatever decision you make is going to change you.
Right.
And it's going to change your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes they think abortion is the solution. I can just get rid of this and not have to think about it again. And then they find out how wrong they are.
Right.
And, then we see them again.
Right.
So I think that it's really important that we're able to provide them with really modern things that they're interested in, rather than, going through the archives and trying to pull
Stereotypical stuff.
something out.
Yeah. You know what? I think many youngsters today have been bombarded with so much information that is not personalized information at all.
Right.
How many people still believe that, even in the second month or something, that it's just a clump of cells.
Right. Well, they've
You
heard
know,
that.
they
They've
really
kind of heard
believe
that
it.
tagline for a long time,
Absolutely.
and it's just not true.
It's just not true. And we
Right.
know that when the ultrasounds are used, it's personalized. Now it's real.
Right, yeah.
And I think they have upwards of 78% of pregnancies continue onward when the mom has seen an ultrasound.
Right. Well, it's very powerful to
Absolutely.
see a baby's heart beating and see movement. Depending on when you do the scan, you obviously see more and more the more pregnant she is. But it's a beautiful thing, and it's as they call it, the window to the womb.
Mm-hmm.
You
Isn't that
see what's
interesting?
going on, and when a girl or a young woman can see her baby moving before she can even feel it.
Right.
Right.
It's real.
It's
You
it's
know
real.
what? I was reading a piece in, I think it was the New York Times. I want to say New York Times. It was recent, probably within the last 3-4 weeks, and they were talking about the rate of abortion being used as birth control, right? For, like you said, that youngsters or even 20, 30 somethings that have had abortion and repetitive as like a birth control thing. And it's kind of ironic that if you have the information of the ultrasound early, they have found that the females that have carried to term have it's like 3 times, it's a striking amount lower incidence of ever getting, being in that situation again.
Well, it's
Repeat.
so funny you would say that, because when I was, I took in college a lot of years ago, I had to do a controversial paper, and I had no idea I would be working at CareNet one day, but I chose the abortion issue. So I went into a pro-choice and a pro-life organization and interviewed the executive directors there, and then put together a paper. And at that time, back in the 80s, it was 2% was because of the mother's life, incest or rape, and 98% was birth control, just convenience.
Yes.
So
It's still pretty high like that today. But I just think it's interesting. Once a female has gone through the process of the baby that's grown and that's been birthed,
yeah,
I'll bet that if you looked at that number worldwide,
Yeah.
I'll bet getting an abortion after that is really small. But if you have someone
makes
that
sense.
doesn't understand all of the services, all of the choices, really, that are out there, that it doesn't have to be just get rid of it now.
but we do have clients that do have children and still come in undecided.
Really?
Yes.
Yep. Sometimes it's married couples.
Really?
No kidding.
It's financial,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
Not
Okay.
a good time.
not a good time.
Yeah.
Or maybe it has to do with some kind of an addiction or something, and they're afraid
Sure.
that there might be something wrong.
Yeah.
So by even being able to offer an ultrasound, and although that can't tell you everything, it can tell you whether or not you have a viable pregnancy,
Correct.
which
Right.
is what we're looking for.
Right.
So, I think that the ultrasound does so much
Absolutely.
in just easing the minds of a lot of our clients.
Yeah.
We see tears that, all the time.
We
People
have them
break
ourselves
down.
sometimes.
I know.
I'm
It's
curious,
true.
I mean,
I'm
it's
curious
true.
if you see a spike in married couples coming in because they can't they're not sure they want to do this because of how much it costs to raise a kid when the economy's lousy,
Yeah.
which it has been for some time. I mean, do you notice a spike in that married couples coming in or?
We don't see a lot of married couples, to be honest with
Okay,
you. Most of
okay.
our clients are not married.
Yeah.
When we do have married couples, it's rare that this situation happens, regardless of how the economy's doing.
Okay.
But it does happen.
Sure.
So we've seen so many clients over the years that certainly there's always the exception to every
course.
rule.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But most of our clients are single.
yeah.
So
Wow.
I think they're surprised, our clients as to how much support they can get from us through CareNet, though. I think that's one thing that whether they come in, happy or they come in a crisis, either way, they're unaware sometimes that they're going to be able to get some material support. They're going to be able to get education, and that's a great thing. They often think, well, I'm going to have my free pregnancy test, and that's as good as it's going to get. And
Right.
then they sit with their peer counselor, and they find out, no, there's a lot more we can do for you.
Right.
And and most of them take full advantage of that, and that's a great thing.
it is a great thing.
Absolutely. So why don't we just make sure that all the information's out there. If you were going to let somebody know that didn't know anything about CareNet, what would you say to introduce your organization?
I would say if you think you're pregnant or you are pregnant or you've just had a baby, and you need support, want support, or just want additional support, then you need to call us or show up and meet us, because we can almost guarantee that you'll walk away happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
What would you
Absolutely.
say, Andrea?
Absolutely, I would probably say the same thing. We're there to help people. It's a great place. We have a great team in place, and we just want to meet clients where they are and help support them.
It's wonderful.
Should probably mention the fundraisers again too, because you said you've got three a year.
Yeah.
Yes, we have the Baby Bottle Drive, which we usually launch it in January, but we have all kinds of churches and businesses
Yeah.
that do it throughout the year. My church last year did it in September. So really anytime, if you want bottles or you want to do any kind of a fundraising for us, this is a great way to do it. And I would like to mention that there are some churches that actually do showers, baby showers.
That's true.
It'll just be for diapers or wipes or
okay.
clothes.
Wonderful.
They'll call us and ask what we need. We have this other woman who shows up every time we run out of wipes. She just shows up and she says, "Here's 2 bags of wipes," and it's amazing how it works. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, so our first one is the baby bottle in January. In May, which is coming May 9th, is our Walk for Life. If you want information on that or you would like to walk it, then just give us a call at 623-1122. And in October, we have our banquet, our dinner banquet. And that is both centers come together for that, and we meet, and it's a lot of fun.
Where do you have it? Like, where would a place be that
The
you would have
banquet?
that? Yeah.
It's at Alpine Grove in Hollis, New Hampshire. I
Alpine
believe
Grove.
it's been there, oh my goodness, it's been there probably for the past 10 years, I
Yeah.
think.
Great.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a large banquet.
How many
There's
people usually attend, or guesstimate?
350 to 400
Yeah.
people.
Wow,
I believe.
zowie.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Great.
It's quite an event.
And if you get elected, Matt, if you get elected, we'll have you stand up, because we always have the elected officials stand up.
Yes,
so
yes.
There you go.
I'll come in and stand up. Yes. Once I'm
And they have
elected.
you elected now.
Yes.
I mean, one's going to throw you in there, and now you're elected.
You know what's funny is that typically my attitude in life is, somebody there's always someone who wants to try to tell you can't do something, right? And I'm always someone who says, well, I'm going to use that as motivation to prove them wrong.
All right.
But this whole running for office thing, it's the opposite. Like, everyone else believes I can do it, and I'm the one sitting here going, I really don't think I can win.
Right.
Well, maybe you just don't want to do it. Maybe you like doing.
Maybe I'm looking for
TV.
excuses, yeah.
Ah.
Well, I could still do TV.
Sure.
I just would have to be less reckless and irresponsible about what I say sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, on this show, I'm pretty good. Have you seen my show? I get pretty.
Oh, really?
I
Are
get
you
pretty
bad?
crazy.
Really?
Yeah, not really.
Not
but-
really.
Do you want to plug your show, Matt? Go ahead.
Oh, they already know.
I like that confidence.
Yes, right. Yes,
Now,
no,
if I
he's
can,
great.
if I can apply that to a campaign, I'll
There
be
you
good.
go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you, Jane, for what you do as well.
Oh,
you know,
my
we
pleasure.
appreciate that.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure. It's always a good thing to be community and activist oriented, whether it's for education or, whether it's for children, life.
And how long have you been in that position now as a president of New Hampshire Right to Life?
Oh, not long. I think November. I think
Okay,
they
so
had the
still-
election in November. Yeah.
Still pretty new, huh?
Yeah, maybe December. Hell.
Yeah. Oh, how dare you, Jane? My goodness.
I mean, how bad is that? It's only February, and I can't remember. Not a good sign.
If it were 1958, you'd be in big trouble for using that
Yeah,
word.
you're right. Thank goodness we're not 1958. Actually, I wasn't born yet, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
It's a good year.
Right.
There it is.
If anybody would like to get on our mailing list so that they can know about our fundraisers or even
Yes.
learn more about CareNet, they can just give us a call at 623-1122. I know I keep saying it, but
No, you have
last
to.
time I
Yeah.
couldn't even remember our website, so at least this time I'm going to say our number.
See, I'm not alone.
right. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I don't know if I have any more questions. They were very complete in their information. You guys
Absolutely.
give a great presentation.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Rolls
you very
right off
much.
their tongue.
Yes. We have a few seconds left. Did you want to plug your opera stuff?
Plug my
You
opera
got anything?
stuff.
You got anything cool coming
You know
up?
what? We're going spring. I run a little opera company in Concord, Piccola Opera, which in
Wow.
Italian means little. And so we start our membership and marketing thing in probably April.
Okay.
And after that, the summer is our first season at the Concord City Auditorium.
Excellent.
So we'll be
Good.
doing the Magic Flute by Mozart with orchestra.
Wow.
Yes, that's going to be fun. And we're doing a Gilbert and Sullivan evening in May.
Okay.
And then in November, we have our opera competition again.
Excellent.
So, yeah, we're laying all the groundwork for that. We have a new studio in 8 North Main Street in Concord Center.
Is there somewhere people can go online to learn about all
Yeah,
of
they
that?
can go Piccola Opera,
You should probably spell that for
I was gonna
everybody.
say, I don't know.
P-I-C-C-O-L-A, opera, O-P-E-R-A, .net.
Okay.
PiccoloOpera.net.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're about out of time. So, thank you both for coming.
Thanks, Matt.
Carolyn,
Thanks
Jane,
for the
thank you.
information.
Jane,
Thank
always
you.
nice to see you.
Nice to see
Now
you.
that I know you're not really shapeshifting
Yeah,
Gary
yeah.
because he called, unless
you
that
go.
was an impressionist.
No,
of
no,
Gary.
it was him, trust me.
I'm easily fooled. Hate to admit it. All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.